So good afternoon and welcome back to Seaworld Orlando. Came on over today because, as you do know, there is a brand new coaster being built here at Seaworld Orlando. However, there's not been very much details released, but there was an article saying what it possibly could be, who's going to make it, and all this stuff. So today we came on over to check up on the updates, also then talk about it because we're going to go over towards the annual pass holder lounge and sit in there for a little bit and talk about this new coaster. What's it going to look like? What's it going to be? Who's going to make it? And when is my prediction and when I think it's gonna come up. So we're gonna stop by, look at it for a little bit. Also check out some of the wait times because it looks very busy coming into the park. So let's head on in, have a great time. I don't know if we'll ride anything. I didn't bring the GoPro hand strap, so if I ride anything, you guys will have to just wait in the locker. If any of your big Guy Harvey fans, on Friday, July 12th, this may be going up either the day of or the day after. But every once in a while, Guy Harvey will come out and he does a lot of the paintings for this. And it goes back to the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation. So from 2 to 5, he'll be out here and you can meet him. And he may be able to sign stuff for you if you do it. So, kind of cool. So if you're ever wondering what kind of animal experiences they have here, they have a whole list of the killer whales, beluga whales, walruses up close tour, dolphin encounter, dolphin up close tour, sharks up close tour, sea lions, behind the scenes tour, penguins up close, and penguin encounter. And that's right here at the very the reservations information booth right when you enter in. So instead of going to the left, because I always tell people avoid going to the left, we're actually going to go towards the right, because first thing I want to do is I want to go over to the Sky Tower and ride the Sky Tower. It gives a really good view of the park and also a good idea of how busy it actually is. As you remember, for a long time while we were waiting for Infinity Falls to open up, we were at the Sky Tower. Now I feel like this is going to be very similar to what we're going to be doing for the next at least year, because the new coaster is supposed to come in 2020. However, SeaWorld has not announced any sort of opening time frame. What is it going to be yet? So right now it's just kind of a guessing game. That's why I said I read an article what it could be, and just based on the permits that were filed through Orange County. Now I can tell you, from the time we came last time to this time, there's a lot more land being cleared. So we'll start out, do the Sky Tower, then we'll walk over by Mako, Infinity Falls, check out those wait times, and then walk over to the bridge that walks on the lake, and we'll look at the construction from there.
Rescue this weekend on ABC.
Mako over there. Looks like they're running 2 trains. Now right over there is Infinity Falls. Got a super long line. We'll see that line when we get closer. But as we come around the corner next to Shamu Stadium, right to the right, this is where the new coaster looks like it'll be going.
In the gift shop of Journey to Atlantis,
let's see,
where sharks circle above you and schools of fish swim around your feet.
Right down there. Interesting.
Relax.
The manta right there.
And even swim alongside dolphins.
The train running right now, but it isn't longer because it's a flying coaster tile. Antarctica, which has the penguin section. So they have Kraken.
Also across the street from
SeaWorld,
you'll see
Sea Lion show.
SeaWorld.
So coming around the corner again, we'll get another
As the cabin rotates,
high look
you'll
of it.
see Mako, Orlando's tallest, fastest, and longest roller coaster. SeaWorld's 200-foot-tall hypercoaster, Mako is named for one of the ocean's.
Definitely a lot to see with that land being cleared. Really helps to see that they had some boards designed into a square of some sorts. So like I said, now we'll head over towards the Shark Wreck Reef. Look at the wait times for Mako Infinity Falls. Infinity Falls wait time looked like it was out the queue. And Mako is running 2 trains, so usually when they run 2 trains, they are really poking people through that ride. Because usually that has one of the lower wait times because it's one of the quickest loading. And so usually that means it could be, I'm going to say probably 25 for Mako, and probably 75 to 80 for Infinity Falls. So now into the Shark Wreck Reef area, like I said, heading over here to see Mako. Like I said, pretty interesting to see they have 2 trains running. I've always said that this ride always needs to have 2 trains running. I never understood why it doesn't, but I understand on the really slow days you don't need it, and especially on those slow days when they're only running 1. Sometimes the train's not even that full. So also one thing to also keep in mind, the tour groups are all back for in full force. Before the 4th they were not quite all here, but it seems like after the 4th they've all shown back up again. So, and they usually will run through to about mid-August. So I always recommend people, if you can, come either early March or early September or late August. September's still gonna be kind of warm, but you get kind of all the cool stuff. So let's see, Mako, as we walk up to it, posting only a 15-minute wait, much slower than what I thought. So I said 20-25 is actually 15. I like not gonna do it. Like I said, today's all about just seeing some of the crowd levels, seeing a lot of stuff going on. So, but like I said, we'll go up here towards Infinity Falls, see what that wait is. So walking up onto Infinity Falls, like I said, this has probably one of the coolest soundtracks. It's also, like I said, this is the first full summer it's getting, because like I said, last year it didn't open until October. And so this is the first time it's actually ran at full speed with people, and it seems to be it had all that kind of, it got all the glitches out pretty early during the winter season. Even then, it had a couple weeks that it does go down for normal routine maintenance, because rides like this need routine maintenance with water in the flume and stuff. So let's go in here and see what they're posting as the wait time for Infinity Falls. Alright, so Infinity Falls is posting a 65-minute wait. So I was a little off from that as well, again. So, not too bad. I mean, I say it's not too bad, but 65 minutes, it's an hour and 5 minutes to ride this. But I honestly think it's worth that wait. But like I said, I'm going to head over this way. So come back in a little bit, go to the lounge to go in there and sit down, talk about the new coaster and the article I read. But I want to go over here before that and go over here by the Wild Arctic area and onto the bridge to see the construction before we talk about it. So like I said, so right now, the one thing that they did change up a little bit is that you can't, if you walk this way around the stadium, you cannot keep walking straight anymore. So this pathway has been closed off because of, again, for this new coaster. For a long time, I kind of made the joke, I thought it was going to be very much like the Premier Skyrocket coaster. The article is coming out saying that no, it's not going to be that, but it could be built by Premier, but not sure yet. So, but like I said, going to walk, like I said, so the walkway to go straight will be closed. It's closed off for now until I guess this coaster's built. So keep walking down to the bridge. So you can see kind of a closer view of it. It looks like they're going to be keeping that structure possibly as a queue house. Kind of doing what kind of like Tigers did, taking an old queue area or an old area and using it as a queue house. Plus it'd be covered, which is a good sign. As you can see, a lot of dirt's been moved. Remember, just about a year ago, we used to walk along there, and there is all this right here that's also being torn up as well. But it looks like it's going to not only be on this area, but it's going to go over towards that way. So, really kind of cool, actually, to be honest. So, we'll go around towards Wild Arctic and kind of check out that area, see what's walled off. I don't know how much we'll be able to see, but then after that, we'll go back towards Waterway Grill and go into the lounge, and we'll talk about this coaster a little bit. So the only way to get over to Wild Arctic from where I was at, you have to go up and around the stadium walkway here. As you can see, walls are up here. There's a lot of work going on, and they started digging down. Now, when they started building Tigris, they built it down to get like the base is built, and also with this possibly being a launching, with this actually, I mean, kind of confirmed launching coaster as now, you do have to build down to build the launching mechanisms that you have to build. So, but also kind of another thing I was reading in and again we'll talk about is Wild Arctic will get a refurb and possibly could be turned into a flying coaster, not flying coaster, but a flying theater style ride, because they'll get rid of the outdated movie show that they have. So, but again, no real major, it's just a 24-second clip that they gave to us, and it's supposed to be like plunge with the predators and stuff like that. So, and funny thing is, during the day before Electric Ocean opens, they actually have the walkway that normally is in this area closed off, and it looks like they'll be walking back and forth and starting to work. And also they talked about that part of this coaster could go over this pathway and into some backstage area. Alright, now we're going to head back to the Waterway Grill, to the Passwater Lounge, and I'll sit in there and we'll talk a little bit more about the article I read and like what the coaster is going to possibly be in the ride experience. And if this is the case, it's going to be a really cool ride. Just because of like all the different little elements and the space it's got to work with will show it having a lot of potential to being something really, really unique and really cool. But the one thing about it though is that it looks like Seaworld and Busch Gardens are going away from B&M for the time being, because this is not a B&M B&M's not going to be designing this ride. As we do know, SeaWorld's 3 main coasters, Kraken, Manta, and Mako, are all built by B&M. Very known for being very safe, very reliable, and not, you know, very cookie cutter, if that makes sense. There's not saying it's bad rides. I'm just saying they're built the same way. When B&M builds it, you kind of build it around, you kind of have to build it what B&M wants to build it as. With some of these newer rides that are coming out, these rides are going to be very much unique, different, and have very unique elements that could also be, not make it unreliable, but it'll give it more issues, if that makes sense. So now that I'm kind of in the lounge for a little bit, because again, the nice thing with the lounge is that you can get like some free soda or water or whatever. In here you can actually order food from a little tablet or like a little like station, and it'll give you, like it'll give you, have to sign a number out, and then it'll let you like pay for it, but you have to have you have to only pay by card. So, but with this new coaster, the idea is that for a long time it was going to be considered that we were going to get like a wave breaker, like down in San Antonio, a little like jet ski ride, very similar to how Tron's going to look. All those motorbike rides, that's what they thought it was going to be, or even a, for a while with the new teaser, they thought it was going to be like a dive coaster, or even possibly a wing coaster like Gatekeeper out at Cedar Point. But that's also kind of gone away. So they said that there were some documents filed that it was kind of that two separate documents and filed with similar layout, that it was going to be a launch similar to like Tigress at Busch Gardens, but it would, instead of it just being one like up circular where you just do one little thing, then you're going to, it's going to shoot you backwards into a spike, then shoot you forward towards a top half style thing, but still won't make it. So then you'll shoot backwards up the spike, almost going all the way up the spike, then finally going forward over the top hat in a dive down, and then that it would also like it would just drop you down, but then after that it would take you like a little hill over a couple like pathways, do some like drops, stuff like that, and things like that, so that then it would then bring you back in kind of like a speed style thing. So the fact that it's got the backward section and then a forward top hat, pretty cool. And then they said it would, like when you board it, it'll slide you out onto the track, so it's going to load you in a different spot than where it's going to take you. But or it could be very similar to like how they do, there's a ride out in China, it's like a dragon ride, and where when you leave the station you go out into the thing, and then it shoots you forward uphill, then it goes backward up the spike, then forward over a giant top hat. So very similar to that. They said the two rides, the two manufacturers that are favored to do this is Premier Rides, which would be Tigress, or Intamin. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be probably closer to Premier, because Premier works better with SeaWorld Parks, because Premier is the one who made all the Skyrocket 2 model rides. So honestly, it sounds really cool. Now again, this is all rumored and what files have been labeled as, but there's no official word from SeaWorld. Until we get official words from SeaWorld, and then that's probably when we'll get a name, an opening date, all that stuff. So pretty cool concept though, if you ask me. Also, the raid time will be very similar to about 2 minutes. Sorry, I'm reading the article again. And that when you go over the hill, you go over the walkway that right now you go over, like when you go to Electric Ocean, you go that way. You'll go into a backstage area where you'll have some twists, small hills, and then a final hop will bring you back to the lakeshore where you'll circle around launch area, enter the station with a total ride time of 2 minutes. They say it's kind of funny because this is also rumored by Universal that the new Jurassic World coaster will have a top hat style thing. So again, neither company's announced their ride, so kind of all up in the air. And I mean, if this is how it's going to be, it's going to be a really cool ride, unique, something we haven't seen before, so kind of cool. Alright, after sitting in the lounge for about 10 minutes and talking about the new ride possible experience, I actually think I'm going to call it a day. I really only wanted to come over here to look at the progression, because we will see a lot of movement going on for at least the next month, but then we will probably see not much going on for a little while. But this ride will have to go really quick, because they're saying 2020 is when it's supposed to be opening, and I mean that's next year, and we're already halfway through the year. They kind of made this announcement in like June, I think early part of June. But that means probably come IAAPA. I don't know if we're still, me and I have always talked about doing IAAPA, but IAAPA is so expensive. And so maybe it's just one of those things when we're able to, we'll do it, but I don't think we'll do it this year, even though there's a lot of good stuff coming out next year though. So maybe we'll save the money and go to IAAPA this year. But I'm kind of hoping with IAAPA, they have the train cars for this new coaster coming here, and then on top of that have the new coaster car for RMC Gwazi out in Busch Gardens, so it would be really cool. Plus there are a whole bunch of other new stuff coming out, so never know. So like I said, I'm gonna make my way towards the front of the park now. So we are gonna go ahead and call it a day from SeaWorld Orlando. Like I said, we got to see a lot of the new construction on the new coaster that's coming through. So there's a lot still to be done, so a lot going on. But man, if this ride does end up being what I think it's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait for it. Like I said, we don't know the name of it, we don't know an opening date, don't know anything official yet. These are just all things that were talked about in the documents that were released. But man, it's gonna be cool, and it's gonna be unique, and it's gonna be really wild. Plus, possibly wild after getting the flying theater style, like, ride system. Well, that'd be really neat. It would really upgrade that thing. So, with all that being said, I do head up from a very hot day here at SeaWorld Orlando. I'll see y'all next time.